lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just hold me. Just hold me. Just hold me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just hold me. Just hold me. Just hold me. Just hold me.
Welcome to Las Vegas and the Sim Racing Media 200 Race Against the Stigma. Tony Trapasso and Emily Urias is going to be up in the booth with you tonight for this special event. We race tonight to raise awareness about mental health as one of the more difficult, shall we say, one of the most stigmaed health issues around the world. People just say, oh, tough it out, tough it out. Well, no, that'd be like telling somebody with a broken leg to walk it off. You wouldn't do that. And you shouldn't do that about mental health either. Which is why we bring awareness to it tonight at the closing days of Mental Health Awareness Month. We come to round number 2 of the Sim Racing Media All-Star events. As qualifying underway right now, we've got just about 20 or so drivers in the field tonight. Josh Hetrick, the only one out on track right now, as he goes 17th quick on his opener. Ryan Andrew in the 88 currently sitting atop the pile as got just about 2 minutes left here, about a minute and a half actually left in the qualifying session. Do want to thank everybody for joining us in the live chat tonight. If you haven't done so already, please give this video a thumbs up to let us know you're enjoying the content we've been giving you as of late, as we are part of the double header that's going to be taking place tonight. The second race, which you can check out on our sister broadcast premiering right about now, actually, is the SRM AI Super Late Model Series. They are firing off over at the Bull Ring, which is located just past turn 2 here. There's that little 3/8 of a mile tight confines, and it's a good time. I was pleasantly surprised when we started to do that, but trucks starting to grid up. Let us take a look at tonight's starting grid. Ryan Andrews setting quick time in the 88. He's going to be joined on the front row with Cody Webster in the 10. Liam Irving and Josh Hetrick going to roll off in row number 2. Big Daddy himself, Carl Burke, is going to be joined with Rhett Tucker in row number 3. Row 4 is going to go to J. Lance Taylor and Ed Morris. Pat McQuaid and Adam Engerstein going to start in row number 5. Row 6, give us Greg Marconi and Jeff Schmeier. Row 7, we see Nate Brown and Jeremy Flanagan. Row number 8, Dave Hara, the hillbilly himself. He's going to be joined with Cole Martin. Row 9 gives us Charlie Dickey and Cam Harris. And row number 10, starting shotgun on the field, James Riles and Cliff Corvo. Not a loaded field at all. So 20 trucks scheduled to roll off here tonight. As Andrews, we're just waiting for a couple of stragglers right now. Looks like Harris, Riles, and Corvo. And I think James is going to be up in the booth. Don't quote me on that. I think James... No, I was just saying, I think James Riles is going to be race control tonight, so... that is probably why he's not gridding up, and I think Cliff is joining him up there. So we do have 2 eyes in the sky tonight, or 2 sets of eyes in the sky tonight. And yeah, Cliff is definitely going to be in race control, and I believe James is as well. As we are currently just in a holding pattern right now, waiting for the timer to elapse. And here we go. Chevy Silverado Pace Truck is rolling it. And this is quickly turning into a who's who as far as racers go across the ESBN family of broadcasts. You know, you tune in any night of the week, and you'll find quite a few of these names doing battle. So Andrews, Webster, Irving, Hetrick, Burke, Tucker, Taylor, Morris, McQuaid, and Angerstein, your top 10 as they roll it down the Nullis back straightaway here. 200 laps, the scheduled distance as we get ready to turn them loose. As Andrews leads them into turn number 3, the only thing that's left for me to say is it's time to wipe the visor, just the 5-point harness. Grandma, pop some popcorn and settle in Sin City. It's time to get it on in Vegas. Race fans, it's showtime! Pace truck peels off, green flag comes out, Andrews pulls the trigger, and we are underway. Lap 1 of 134. 2x2x2 back through the field, as that is Liam Ervig trying to make some headway on the low side. And just realized Cody Webster in the 91 is being scored as the 10. So that's not going to get confusing. Oh, we got one around already.
Yes. Man, I mean, coming out here, this track can be loose if you don't know what you're doing out here.
And it's J. Lance Taylor. Let's go back and take a look at what happened there to the 29. Just caught the apron up into Ed Morris, checks him up. Morris gets rear-ended, and we stay green, though, as we are going back live here. Kind of a melee right around 3rd, 4th, and 5th right now. Ryan Andrews showing the way in the 88.
And can I say, these cars are looking beautiful out here tonight, Tony, right?
Absolutely, Emily. You know, something about the lights at Vegas, just it really changes how things appear. Now, we do have a little bit of the breakaway going with these 5 trucks up in front. Then you're about 3/4 of a second back to this man in the 77, Pat McQuaid. And he's got about half a second to the good over this battle with Carl Burke and Adam Angerstein for 7th.
I also mentioned Red Tucker currently in 4th. I've raced with him a couple times in some league races, actually. He is a fast car from what I've seen, so it looks like he will be a contender for tonight's race, as he is currently chasing down that 1st place spot, going side by side with the 91 car. So it's be interested to see what he wants to do, save tires. I mean, he's just pushing that car right along, if you can tell.
Yeah, that would be the 88 of Ryan Andrew, the pole sitter, that he's trying to push along in that 2nd lane. Now, we haven't seen the 2nd lane really come into its own yet tonight, but there's still a ton of racing left to do. That groove hasn't really formed up yet. They don't have the rubber laid down to really make it as effective as it could be up on that 2nd side. But right now, Andrew's making it work, as is Brett Tucker. They're trying to get some rubber laid down. Liam Irving jumping up to join them.
And I mean, you can see Red Tucker just trying to find a spot where he can fit and go for it. I mean, he's just working that top line with 1st place with Andrew, and I mean, really, it's shown its paying off. That mid to top line with the track temperature tonight, it can pay off. If you can stick that car, you can get a good run coming off each turn of turn 4 and turn 2.
Yeah,
and that's what these guys are doing.
We're going to take a look at tonight's weather conditions while we follow along here. You can see it right there, down there at the bottom of the screen. 77-degree ambient air temperature, 57% relative humidity, which is pretty moist for the desert. 2-mile-an-hour winds, not really a big deal here tonight. 79-degree track temperature at the start of this piece, and you know, I'm sure as the sun is no longer beating on this track, the temperatures are going to drop a little bit, as we've got a little bit of a tango going on right around 3rd, 4th, and 5th, as that is Carl Burke on the inside, looking to, he was looking to make it 3 wide for a second there, thought better of it. As Liam Irving has 3rd, and that's an angry pack of Hornets behind him, as we now have a 10-truck breakaway. And then you are a full 5 seconds back to 11th place, which we've got 2 distinct packs forming up here. And I'm thinking a lot of it had to do with what happened to the 29 getting spun like that. It kind of stacked everybody up and really broke this field up.
Yeah, and I mean, really looking at it, they're just pushing it, running the outside low line. And I mean, really now they're starting to get rubber down. We're going 10 laps into this race. So that's when the rubber's starting to go down on that track where they can start pushing up a little bit, start getting that line moving. And I mean, that's where we're going to start seeing single file line, as we still have 134 laps in this race. And we're going to see green flag pit stops, I say around 60 lap 60 roughly.
Yeah, I dare say that's a safe bet.
As we are 100% fuel tonight and 6 tire changes, so they probably really won't have to worry about tires tonight. But that's another thing is, when do you want to take tires? Because Las Vegas, if you know how to save your tire, you can be good in the long run. But it can also eat up a tire if you don't know how to.
Yeah, absolutely. We are going to go on board with Big Daddy himself, Carl Burke, in the 53. And this is what he's seeing out the windscreen of that outdoor cast iron cooking Chevy Silverado.
Yeah, and I mean,
Go ahead.
you can just see the battling up there as that car just goes on his outside, the 91 car, and just passing with ease. I mean, really that high line is where we're gonna start seeing cars favor more tonight, I believe, as the low line can just be, if you don't get enough people on it, the outside line can just draft off of you. So that's when we're start seeing some more battling, maybe late race. That's when we're probably. I mean, you can go 3 wide here and not lose traction. So.
Well, they are 2 wide at the front right now with Rhett Tucker working the inside of the 88 of Andrews. Tucker had the nose out front at the stripe that time as they are fast approaching the lap truck. That is Ed Morris in the 7. And you saw just how much damage was on that truck after getting involved in that early spin. Now, Emily, if I could ask you to take a look at the race info for me tonight, are there any fast repairs? Oh, baby.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
It was Liam Ervig. Big shunt for the 54.
There is 1 fast repair tonight, as well as, let me see, green, white, checkered.
Okay. Well, here they are coming down the back straightaway. Keep your eye on the orange truck on the top lane. Net code from hell. Good grief. Let's take a look at what the eye in the sky picked up on that one. Again, keep your eye on the orange and purple truck in the middle. You know, this is what the boys in the chopper picked up for us. Has the clear. 25 goes to his inside. And I could have rolled my fat crippled ass in my wheelchair between those 2 trucks.
Man, that was, like, it just, the game, you know, the sim was just like, you know what? You out of here. That's how it looked. I mean, there's no contact, no nothing, enough room, and it just yeeted that car. And it feels bad for him, too, because he really did nothing there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, it's one of those, it's just one of them deals that, you know, unfortunately, net code happens when you're sim racing. As we are under caution number 1, and we got wholesale pit stops as Tucker Andrews beats Tucker off pit road. Everybody 4 in fuel, working lap 15 of 134 here tonight. And I believe, yes, he did. Ed Morris in the number 7 got the free pass to get back on the lead lap. Leaves only currently 1 driver a couple laps down, and that is going to be the 72 of Jeremy Flanagan. So, J. Lance Taylor, I dare say, no, he didn't burn his fast repair yet. Although I do have to say Ed Morris is probably going to want to, considering just how heavily damaged the front of that truck is.
And can I mention, I believe the 72 car will be getting his lap back. So that'll help him out, as he did stay out to be eligible to take that lap back and get on the lead lap. So if you guys don't know out here, if you stay out and everybody in front of you that's on the lead lap pits, you get that lap back once you go 1 to green. Now it's on you to catch the lead pack so you don't fall behind. But that's really how that works to get your own lap back without giving the lucky dog.
Well, technically, right now he's in front of the leader, so yeah, he would get the wave around
Yeah.
once the lights go out on the pace truck, which I believe should be happening next time by. But Andrews, Tucker, Hetrick, Webster, Burke, McQuaid, Schmeier, Harris, Martin, and Nate Brown rounding out your top 10 as our biggest mover so far. Not a huge shocker, is going to be this man here in the 27. That is Cam Harris. Up 10 already from where he started. Did not lay a time in qualifying. As just wanted to make sure that he gets as much racing in as he can tonight. Doesn't want to have anything given to him. As there is Jeff Schmeier, a name familiar to our Tuesday night crowd in the Reformation Brewery, number 22.
And I believe Nathan just mentioned he might have some damage on his vehicle.
Well, let's take a look at the 69 and Nate Brown. Front end looks clean. Oh, yep, there it is. He's got a little bit of a wow in his tailgate.
And I mean, really going here, it's somewhat like a super speedway, but you still need that draft. So it's in between of not one and one, like the new Atlanta. The drivers are saying that it's kind of like a super speedways, right?
Yeah, that shouldn't affect him too adversely. You know, it's not like he has a damage in the front of the truck to upset the splitter up there. But, you know, that's just one of those deals where you take it to a body shop and the body shop guy's going to look at it and go, wow, what did you hit? But lights are out on the Chevy Silverado pace truck as the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex. Andrews taking the outside lane as the pace truck gets ready to peel it on off. There it goes, and here we go to restart. 17 laps in the books.
Green flag, green flag.
As Andrew kicks it off, and I mean, Rhett Tucker just guns it and gets past Andrew with ease, and that's what you're gonna start seeing is Andrew might go down and you know, try to stay in second place. At this point, it might be too early to push, but these guys are gonna want to either start pushing or saving. So, looking like it, they are wanting to push.
Well, I mean, you've got... Oh, hang on to her, son. That was a 25, a hat-trick getting all sorts of sideways. Carl Burke still hasn't saved it.
And looks like he's mowing that lawn back there.
As the splitter will do here. Let's take a quick look back what happened there.
And a caution might come out.
Yellow flag is out.
Yep.
Caution does come out there. A little asleep at the switch. That's why the caution came out. As Liam Irving completely swaps ends trying to stay off of Carl Burke. Doesn't hit anything, at least this time. But he does have a ton of damage on that truck from the last caution.
Yeah, and I mean, these guys really, they have one fast repair here. And to take it this early is major.
Yeah, you're definitely putting yourself behind the 8-ball if you do that.
So some of these guys might just be saying, you know what, I'm just going to get as much damage fixed as I can and save that fast repair for, let's say, you know, last 10 laps, we get a caution then. Then you can have a fresh, you know, backup car out of that hauler and be able to run these cars down.
One guy that has burned his fast repair already is the driver of that Prime Racing number 7 of Ed Morris. You can see that truck is in a lot better shape than it was before the last caution. So, you know, Ed doing what he needed to do to make sure that he's got a competitive truck here tonight. Carl Burke doesn't look like he's got a ton of damage. I mean, you can see the wow in the right rear bedside, but the front of that doesn't look too beaten up yet. So Burke should be okay. as Charlie Dickey bringing it pit side. Looks like he might be playing fuel strategy because it's a little too early to, yeah, just topping off with fuel. Liam Irwig, though, doing some pit farming. And what just happened to Rhett Tucker? Let's take a look at what happened to our leader. What did happen?
I think he might have just went in the pits. No?
No. He went way far up the track, past the pace car, dropped down. Well, don't know what happened to Rhett Tucker.
Let me go back and look at that.
That was kind of wild. So lights should be going out on the pace truck this time by. Tucker faking like he's going down pit road. As there go... No, we stay under caution. Well then. So of the 18 trucks that did start this piece, all 18 trucks are still on the lead lap. Got to thank James Riles and Cliff Corvo for being up in race control tonight. Thank you, gentlemen, for doing what you do.
Yeah, I looked back. I mean, I don't know what Rhett was thinking. I mean, yeah, he looked like he was just maybe having some fun going ahead of the pace car. I don't know.
Well, it is what it is. As looks like Greg McConey has made some headway.
Yeah, I mean, he's up into 5th right now.
Absolutely. He's following Jeff Schmeier kind of up through the field. As Schmeier's up 8, McConey's up 6. And I don't think those two have raced with each other often. But the one thing I have... Wow, that's weird. Schmeier driving a Toyota tonight when normally he is in the Reformation Brewery Ford F-150. So I was going to say, normally those two would be Blue Oval alliances, but not so tonight. As lights do go out on the pace truck. Andrews, Tucker, Webster, Schmeier, McConey, McQuaid, Harris, Hetrick, Taylor, and Brown, rounding out your top 10. As Andrews electing to take the inside lane. Going to have the trigger when we go back to green flag action. Testing the waters on the last restart, trying to see what was there on the top side. Didn't like it as much as he prefers the inside right now, especially on fresher tires. Working lap 23 of 134 here tonight. And we haven't had too many laps under anger yet.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's been clean racing, and I believe it's just been racing incidents that's been causing these cautions so far. So really, nothing out here that would anger these drivers or even, make these drivers want to just head out of here. So really, these guys are driving good, having fun out here, and that's what race is all about. It's having fun and supporting our charity that we have.
Absolutely. Race against the stigma. Race for mental health awareness tonight here at Vegas.
Green flag.
Andrews wastes no time getting the jump. Here comes the 10 of Cody Webster, the 91 of Cody Webster being scored as the 10. This is why we don't let tech officials drink before they hand out transponders.
Yeah. So, I mean, really, coming out here, that bottom line is where you want to be on these restarts. From what, like you mentioned, the 88, wanted to go in the waters and try the upper line, and he said, you know what, no, I don't like it.
On fresh tires, you want to be on the low side.
Yeah, and I believe he'll just like, you know what, if it ain't bad, you don't need to fix it.
Absolutely. As Tucker looking to the inside of Andrew going into one. Oy.
Man, they're just chasing him down.
Oh,
He's
contact
right.
going into 3, and they're not done yet.
I believe that might have been just a little of net code.
No, that was no net code. That was Webster getting a run, having nowhere to go with it. As he tried to muscle his way in on Rhett Tucker, that's going to let Andrew get a little bit of breathing room at the front of this piece. As now a very angry Cody Webster starts to pick his way back through the field. Up in front of him, though, Tucker has caught Andrew as there's a gap now between second and third. That is Schmeier with an angry pack of Hornets behind him as here comes the 25 of Josh Hetrick.
Yeah, I mean, all these cars out here are fast, and just seeing the fact that they're pulling a half-second gap from them, that shows you that they're just working that bottom line, working it, and just putting these laps in to knock them off as they still have, I believe, almost 105 laps to go, roughly, maybe 7.
It'll be 105 at the stripe.
So, roughly 105 left, so they're just trying to take those laps off and get to this finish line to see who's going to bring home this trophy tonight.
Absolutely, as Hetrick runs side by side with Greg McConey, one of our very own here at Sim Racing Media and ESBN. And also one of the Chase playoff contenders for the Rowdy Energy Circle B Diecast Super Speedway Series on Friday nights. I saw Greg come home with a third place finish last night. And just like that, Cody Webster back into the mix on the top side.
Man, these guys are just battling it out back there, trying to figure out who wants what position and who can get that bottom line to run on these new tires.
Absolutely. As we got some side-by-side action behind them. That's the 77 of Pat McQuaid working the inside of Nate Brown. McQuaid going to slot in behind Brown, and here comes the 15 of Hera to the inside. You see heavy damage on the nose of the 77 of McQuaid. That's got to be hampering him a little bit. The way that splitter is just, it looks like a pug dog.
And I mean, you can see the 53 just trying to look into that, 29's inside or even that 77's inside too. Just trying to make a move on those two cars, but they're just saying, no, we're not going to let you by, and they're just racing side by side right now.
As we've got some action up towards the front. That's Hetrick working the inside of Schmeier right now as we're side by side for the lead with Tucker and Andrew again. 4-truck breakaway at the front of this piece as they've got about a half a second to the good over Cody Webster as he now works the inside of McConey to reel in the number 5 spot. But still, too wide, too deep at the front. Side-by-side action for the lead. Tucker and Andrew, no stranger to each other. And of the 4 trucks at the front of this piece, Schmeier's the only oddball out as the rest of them run with the AARL. And Schmeier with Western States Racing League. We see him every Tuesday night. AARL guys we see Tuesday just before that. So, has Schmeier watched some of the earlier racing before his race goes live? From the looks of it, he's got these guys well scouted.
Yeah, and I mean, these cars are just driving side by side, just knocking these laps back, fighting back and forth to lead these laps and really just have fun out there. And I'm going to bring it back a couple times tonight. And, we're out here for a good cause. We're out here to support mental health awareness. And, I mean, that is a major thing that's going on right now, especially just battling the virus that we had.
Absolutely.
I know personally that I went through some stuff too, so I know it's good to get help out there as right now I'm finding help too, so if you need any help, please get help. So
Absolutely. If you know anybody in crisis, reach out to them. If it wasn't for my friends, I wouldn't be here right now. because they realize that something's not right with him. And they've reached out to me. And matter of fact, one of them showed up at my door one day, just unannounced. Hey man, are you okay? And I wasn't. I completely wasn't okay. And this was about a year ago. And I had he not been there, I probably wouldn't be here right now. It was a very dark place for me. And I've admitted this before on the podcast that that's the beauty of sim racing. And Emily, I'm sure you can attest to this, because there's so much crap that everybody deals with day in and day out in their normal life, that when you can get into a sim race, whether it be as a race control, a racer, an announcer, on a broadcast, for those 2 hours, you can forget about all the bullshit that you've had to deal with all week long.
Yeah, and I mean, coming to this sim, it's really relaxing. At least to me, I go to this sim to get away, to get away from the problems in life, mostly, just trying to get some peace and quiet.
Some people play golf. We love the sound and feel of high performance engines. Speaking of high performance engines, right now Ryan Andrew has the highest performing engine, as he has led a good majority of this piece.
Yellow.
And we are back under caution. Ooh. Something happened with Charlie Dickey, I think. There's Dickey in the 37, gets into it with, oh, baby. Yeah,
I just feel like he came up and he didn't know he was clear. That caused that, don't you?
Well, let's look at that again. Let's see what the boys in the chopper picked up. As here we are in the eye in the sky, and yep, caught the apron, scooted up the track, and unfortunately Morris involved in that one, the 27.
Man, I mean, that 7 kind of got lucky. He just got the run being turned around, so he got lucky. As remember that we talked about, he already burnt his fast repair, so he's gonna have to start being more careful, as we still have roughly 95 laps to go. So he's gonna probably be more cautious and save, his car for the rest of the race.
Yeah, he's gonna kind of have to at this point. And
As you can see, that 37 just locking those brakes up.
yeah, absolutely. That was the 77 of Pat McQuaid that was trying to stay off those guys. I really need to get my glasses clean, because from where I was sitting, that looked like the 27 at first.
Same here.
So that brings out caution number 3, wholesale pit stops for the entirety of the field, as we are going to go back live. And we are also going to step away for a brief second. We will be back after these words.
drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Well, oh, they're wrecking! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the West Coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series. And we are back at Vegas for the SRM 200. Race against mental health stigmas. Greg McConey electing to stay out under that caution. Everybody else coming down pit road for foreign fuel. So it's still an early gamble for McConey, as he is going to have the button when we get turned loose. Wanting to see what clean air is going to feel like for once, as the lights are out on the pace car.
Yeah, and I mean, this is going to get Greg first lap lead for tonight, I believe, correct?
Correct.
So he must be feeling up in his chair, just like, finally got a lap lead in, and I believe everybody got tires, correct?
Everybody except McConey came down for tires.
Ooh, this can be interesting on cold tires and old tires. So the guys behind him are going to have to be careful to not push him out of the way. Because I know personally, if there's somebody in front of me that has old tires, I try being cautious. But, you know, they're going to be slower than you. So that's one thing that these drivers are going to have to look out to, is they have somebody leading the field that's going to be slower.
Well, we're about to see what this is going to look like, as McConey is going to bring him down to the green flag, entering the Geico restart zone. McConey holds him down, jumps on the loud pedal, and gets a decent getaway.
I mean, he must have just been saving his tires, do you think?
McConey's one of the best I know at doing that.
So, I mean, that shows you that he's like, you know what, I might just need to top off on fuel, and I don't need tires, so...
Well, he didn't come down at all.
Oh, he didn't?
He did not come down at all under that last caution.
So, he pitted lap 15 or 16 on my relative,
14,
so...
yeah.
Yeah, that means he will have to come down pit road soon. Thinking, I say 60 laps you can do on a tank of fuel
Roughly.
at Vegas.
He's banking on another caution.
Yeah, I think that's what he's doing.
Right now, he is just getting completely freight trained, as Jeff Schmeier leading his first lap of the night. And here comes Webster to the inside in the 91. Webster we saw get yeeted coming off of turn number 4 about 20 laps ago. Already made his way back to the front of this field.
And I mean, really, these cars are looking spectacular out there on track. As one of the 88 car, Ryan Andrew, has our sponsor too, Jones Racing Setups on it, so that's nice to see out there.
As a matter of fact, we're going to go on board with Jeff Schmeier, and there you can see our very good friends at JonesRacingSetups.com. For all your pavement setup needs, Jones is where you want to look. And it looks like Ryan's got his own code. Use the code RAndrew. Oh, there you go. A little help with your open setup purchases. Compliments of the 88. We are currently on board with the 22 of Jeff Schmeier. And Rhett Tucker just reset the fastest lap of the race with a 36.7.
I was just about to just about to mention that. Yeah, 30.673, which here is pretty fast in the truck. So, I mean, you can tell he's pushing that car, just trying to move past these guys. I mean, he's been a really fast car we've seen tonight. Leading the pack, going back. I mean, he is a top contender tonight.
Well, we saw Tucker spend a little extra time in his pit box, about 10 extra seconds. And, that kind of cost him a few spots, as that is an angry pack of Hornets that I would not want to be anywhere near.
Yeah, and I mean, you can just see them about almost 3 wide. You can see Tucker's just thinking about it. Yeah, so Tucker's thinking about it. He's like, do I want to go 3 wide, or do I want to save them save them their britches,
Well, talking about 3 wide, the race that's also going on, the premiere of the Sim Racing Media AI Super Late Model Series going on right now over at the Bull Ring, we saw 3 wide action on that track. And no cautions. Let that sink in. So when this broadcast is over, if you guys want to check that out, the premiere is going on right now. And, I have
a question.
Go ahead.
How does the AI series work?
It is Frank Marchese and I went through and we chose a who's who of some of the lower divisions, as far as like K&N Pro Series, ARCA, super late model racing, as far as like the Cars series and whatnot. We went through and found paint schemes for the super late model, and then set up, I believe it was 30 cars. Don't quote me on that number, but we went through, created the driver roster, and when you set up an AI session, you can set up 3 different parameters. Pit crew competency, skill level, and aggression level. Skill level and aggression level, you can set a range of this is the lowest, this is the highest. Maxed everything out, so it aggression level of 125%, maximum and minimum, so they're up on the wheel from the time the green flag drops. Skill level, same thing, 125% skill level throughout the field, because it's a who's who of who hasn't made it to the top 3 divisions of NASCAR yet as full-time drivers. And then you go in and you set up an AI session, and it works just like a regular race, except there's no real-life driver on track.
Okay, yeah, I've just never heard of that. So once you mentioned, I'm like, okay, I want to learn about that,
And it was something that we did a lot of testing on, and we're going to tracks that you don't see used too often. They don't get a lot of love on some of the tracks that we're using. For example, the Bull Ring. We've never broadcasted a race on this channel from the Bull Ring. We're going to Langley Speedway this season. I don't ever recall in all my years of broadcasting ever broadcasting a race from Langley. We're going to Concord. Same thing. I think I've only ever done one race from Concord, and it was a sprint car race from a league that I actually used to run with. So Concord doesn't get a lot of love. We're going to Hickory. We're going to South Boston. There's only one track we're going to that's over 1 mile in length, and that's going to be the big race at Charlotte. And then, of course, as you would expect in super late models, we're closing the season out at the Snowball Derby with Five Flag Speedway. So, there's still a lot of racing left to go, and it's going to be, they're going to air every Saturday night. And I mean, it was such a fun time. We did it on tape delay, kind of like you would see on some of the racing broadcast channels out there. that do the Saturday night specials, grassroots style racing. That's basically what we're going for. But if you take a look at the driver entry list in that race, it's a who's who of short track. And that is going on right now. The premiere is happening right now on our sister broadcast. So once we're done here, if you want to head on over there and give that a look, or if you want to open up another tab and take a look, right now Cody Webster showing the way in the 91, has the 88, the 22, and the 99 with him. As then you've got a little bit of breathing room, about 5 truck lengths back to the 25 of Josh Hetrick. As that's Carl Burke and Nate Brown going door to door.
And I mean, considering Nate Brown and Red Tucker, I believe they run in my Monday night cleanracing.net league.
They
so
do.
Both of them are fast drivers in those leagues. And again, we have a ton of races that go at least 6 days a week that we run. So that's just one of the leagues that we here at ESPN/SRM broadcast.
Absolutely. As McConey bringing it down pit side, didn't get the caution he was hoping for. He is going to lose some time now as the field pretty single filed out. But we've got representation tonight. Let me just take a quick look. We've got representation from the cleanracing.net series. We've got representation from the All-American Racing League Trucker Street American Cup series. We've got representation from the Extreme Racing Maestros Classic ARCA series. We have representation from the Rowdy Energy Circle B Diecast Super Speedway series. And what we're seeing on track tonight is relatively a who's who of who you're going to see weekly in races broadcast on the Esports Broadcasting Network.
Yeah, and I mean, all these drivers come out from our different series that we broadcast, and it's nice to see all of them get along, and we have a caution.
Looks like Jeremy Flanagan having problems. Let's go back and take a look at what happened to the 70 Deuce. Nine with a good run in the draft.
The 9 net code gets him.
Maybe.
It looks like it might have been an inch of net code from what I've seen.
Let me get to one of the high-speed drones and we'll look at that again. Here we are with the drone. This is looking back on Flanagan. You see the 9 there. No, there was contact.
It was just right on that tail end of the bumper.
Yep.
I mean, he did a good job saving that car, though.
Yeah, he did. He was trying to get it in gear, but unfortunately did back it into the wall, and now he is matching taillights as both of them are caved in. So, time for good news, bad news. Good news. Greg McConey did come down. McConey did come down to get some services done on the Purdue Boilermaker number 12.
And I believe that's going to put him in front of the field, right?
No, he just got the free pass.
Oh, he went a lap down.
Yes.
Okay.
He did. You will go a lap down if you pit under green.
I forget about that. I haven't ran this track in a hot minute.
So, now here's the good news. If you're a McConey fan, he's got heat in his tires. Everybody else just came down to get 4 in fuel, and the only one who didn't take 4 was Carl Burke, who took 2. There is Burke there in the outdoor cast iron cooking Chevy Silverado for Western States Racing and Thrasher Magazine. But Burke took 2. Everybody else 4 in fuel.
And I mean, really, this track, you can take just right sides.
Well, right sides can help if you're too tight. What that'll do is that'll actually loosen the car up early in the run and you know, free it up a little bit. But if you're already free, which we've been seeing a lot of guys already a little too much on the free side, it's going to be a tough one. So hopefully Burke wasn't already too loose. And
I mean, maybe he wanted to get a little bit more loose to get that car to turn. But I mean, really, here at Las Vegas, your car turns pretty well unless you're on, like, you know, 60 lap old tires.
Yeah, absolutely. We are closing in on the halfway mark. Currently working lap 64 of 134. You are watching the Sim Racing Media Race Against the Stigma 200 from Vegas, round number 2 of the All-Star Series. George Passo and Emily Urias up in the booth with you tonight. And Em, I don't know about you, but I'm very impressed with what I've been seeing so far. When you have so many different leagues coming together and some of the best who normally don't get a chance to throw hands with each other on track, racing is as tight and as close as we have seen tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, really from what we've seen is, you know, they've been going 2-2, just going, you know, side by side racing, going all the way back. And from what I've seen, like, I just want to sit back here and just, you know, watch on the broadcast and just watch it and be quiet. But I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna talk about them. So these guys are having an amazing race out here, and I just want them to keep it up and give us a good broadcast to do. I mean, they've done such a good job so far, especially from our last race that we held at Atlanta. That was a really good race. So
absolutely. Want to check in with the live chat. Thank you all for joining us tonight. If you haven't done this already, give this video a thumbs up. Let us know you like what you're doing. It really helps share these videos around with the YouTube algorithm. The more thumbs up a video gets, the more likely it is to get shared on somebody's news feed as they log into the server. Evan Kinney and Greg Barnett checking in. Both of them going Nate Brown, go, go, go. And Evan also rooting for Rhett Tucker. So thank you both for joining us. Let us know who your favorite driver is. We'll try to highlight them throughout the night. As lights are out on the pace truck one more time, Andrew's going to have the button on the top side. As there goes the pace truck. And entering the Geico restart zone now. Green flag is in the air, and we are back underway. Andrew getting a pretty decent jump. Webster was hanging back a little bit to see when he was going.
yeah, and I mean, the Ryan Andrews' car is looking like perfect. That, you know, metallic color on it looks really nice.
Oh, absolutely. It's a very sharp-looking paint scheme. As we've got some action going back in the mid-pack right now. That is your battle for 7th between Liam Irving, Carl Burke, and Nate Brown. As Burke going to give the chrome horn to Irving coming through the tri-oval section.
Yeah, and
oh,
I mean,
hang on to her, son.
And I mean, you can, and they are wrecking and still green.
That was Adam Angerstein going for a ride.
Can I say, Rhett Tucker had a little downfall, but he's back up to 2nd, pushing. I mean, when I'm saying pushing, I'm saying literally pushing.
Oh yeah.
Andrew. You know, I mean, this track, you can do it. You just gotta be careful going into those turns so you don't accidentally turn the person. And, I mean, Rhett Tucker is really fast out here as he's looking on the inside to secure that bottom line from Andrew and get that pass. And as he cleanly does it, he gets past him and does a clean slide job and still trying to figure out what line he's wanting to run. As you can tell, he's going from the bottom to the top, just trying to defend them off. And really, we're a little over halfway, so this is where they're going to start getting a little bit more antsy. And they're starting to, get these spots taken out, find out where, you're fast at, and what spot you can get as, Andrew just dives in on that bottom line to get that spot back from him. So I believe we're going to see a lot of this tonight, is both of them battling back and forth, as again, Red Tucker goes on the low side.
Tucker and Andrew crossing each other over, and that's going to let the 91 of Webster get a run. Webster now throws it to the inside, going through 1 and 2. Here comes the 25 of Josh Hedrick as well, working the inside of Jeff Schmeier. As most of these guys up at the front little grouping here run with that CleanRacing.net Truck Series on Monday nights with each other. Everybody except Schmeier, who runs on Tuesday nights with Western States. So, kind of the odd man out as far as this one goes. And hopefully he's done his scouting coming into this event, knows what these guys are capable of. Who was that was blinking? That was Hedrick. That's scary.
And I believe I've seen him, as a starter, just blink a couple of times. So the drivers have to be wary of that number out there. So, as Red Tucker is leading it out there tonight, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Red Tucker is fast. So is Cody, so is Ryan. All of these guys up here in the top 3 are fast cars. We've seen them go from first, second, third, and just switching it up every lap.
Well,
so
Rhett's fast no matter what you put him in, because he was fast last month when we went to Atlanta in the next-gen car.
Oh, yeah. I personally, from what I've seen in CleanRacing.net, is he's up there a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Josh Lilly as well. Lilly is a fast driver. So
that young man has skill well beyond his years.
Yes. So, honestly, if Lilly was out here, I don't know. It's just a prediction. Might be up front. But, Brett just might need to bring it home for, Clean Racing tonight.
Well, those two were up in front all race long when we were at Atlanta, so I wouldn't expect anything different. It's what you see just about every Monday night. It's the Tucker and Lilly show just about every week. Lily's dad is fast too.
Oh yeah, everybody here is fast, but there's one car that is fast and can make it. As you see, Andrew just
something
pushing.
Just happened to Josh Hedrick.
Yeah, and you can just see Andrew pushing Cody up there. I don't know.
Hedrick's having problems.
Yeah.
I'm thinking he was down on the apron trying to stay out of everybody's way, and yet just looped it coming off a 2.
That's a massive hit for the front end.
Well, he was having connection issues. I think he was down on the apron just trying to stay out of the way so he didn't get into anybody.
Yeah.
So doing the sportsman-like thing. And it looks like we've got 2 retirements to speak of.
Carl Burke and I believe Joshua Hedrick.
Yep. Not sure what happened to Big Daddy, because I didn't see anything pop up on my screen. He just jumped into the pits. Looks like real life taking priority there. So good. Wish you could still be here, sir, but unfortunately, real life getting in the way. As we've got a little bit of a breakaway at the front of this piece. 6 trucks running stem to stern right now. Liam Irvin kind of on an aisle all by himself in 7th. And then you're 2.5 seconds back to this battle for 8th place with Ed Morris, David Hara, Pat McQuaid, and Greg McConey.
Yeah, can I mention, really, the front pack? I know we've talked about them a lot, but they're pushing like it's a super speedway, if you haven't seen.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen coming off of turn 2 that one of them's almost got loose. You can tell these guys are antsy for that first place. You can just see them pushing as Rhett is just pushing that 10 car. So, really...
Emily, it kind of makes sense because you want to put your name on the stamp of I won an SRM All-Star event.
Yes, and I mean, coming out here, you can just see Rhett wants it. And all of these drivers up here that's just broken away from that pack is just, I believe they're what?
No, baby. Tucker gives Webster the old Spanish archer going into one. And for those who wonder what I'm talking about, elbow.
And I believe they are, I think, almost a second back. They have a second gap between the main pack and them, so...
That's a 2-second gap, actually.
2-second gap.
From Nate Brown to David Hara, as Cody Webster gets swallowed up by that second group, it's 2.5 seconds.
So, I mean...
Yep.
Yeah, these guys out here are fast. I mean, you have that huge spot between the front pack and the back pack. So, I mean, coming out here, you can tell which guys are fast and which guys could be potentially saving their tires, too. That's one thing here is, should we save our tires? Or should we go for it? I mean, really, saving tires here can just be iffy. I mean, you can eat your tires up, but you can also can't.
Well, it's very easy to punish your tires here at Vegas. But we are fast approaching 20 laps on this fuel run right now. Tucker, Andrew, Schmeier, Harris, Ervig, Brown, your lead 6, 2.5 seconds back to this group here. David Hara leading the little freight train. He's got Pat McQuaid right with him. 2 of our AARL regulars. Ed Morris from the Meisters Classic ARCA Series sits right there inside the top 10. Cody Webster rounding out your top 10. Greg McConey back there as he is slugging it out with Cole Martin right now. Martin was looking to the inside, going through 1 and 2, thought better of it, didn't have the run to make the bomb. As up in the front of this piece, Tucker and Andrew right back where they started it, going hammer and tongs as they got Schmeier in tow right now, as 3 trucks starting to break away a little bit from Cam Harris in the 27.
And I believe Harrison is still our biggest mover, up 14 spots tonight.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I mean, you can just tell how fast he is. He started from the back of the field and pushed up into 4th. So, he is working that truck out tonight. I mean, he must have a really good car coming out here.
Well, and that's the beauty of what you're seeing here tonight. This is a fixed setup race. All the setup for tonight provided by JonesRacingSetups.com. For all your racing setup needs, you need to go over and talk to the people at Jones. They have pavement setups that are second to none. As far as racing setups that will allow you to race and not be completely uncontrollable after 5 laps. Jones makes a very stable, a very safe, and a very fast setup.
Yeah, and I personally run their sets before. Their Xfinity sets for Kentucky, fire.
Absolutely.
So if you want to go check them out on JonesRacingSetups.com and go show them some love. I believe they don't have setups out this week due to some problems with their software.
Yes.
But almost every week, if not every week, they have fire sets that they put out for late models, your Class C, B, and A class. So they literally got the 9 yards that you want to run to move up in the asphalt ovals.
Got to thank Dave Regal for checking in the live chat. Dave, wish you were here, buddy. As he's pulling for Schmeier and Carl Burke. Unfortunately, Burke has retired. We've got Cirrus saying, let's go 72. Nate Owens pulling for the 77 and the 45. Thank you all for checking in. Arcane pulling for Rhett Tucker as always. Again, thank you all for joining us in the live chat. You are watching the Sim Racing Media Mental Health Awareness 200 from Vegas. Tony Trapasso and Emily Urias up in the booth with you for the Esports Broadcasting Network. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications. As Emily alluded to earlier, we do this regularly 6 nights a week. We now have 7 nights a week of content with the brand new Sim Racing Media AI series that is debuting right this second on our sister broadcast. So we do have content all 7 days of the week, and we are fast approaching 2,500 subscribers. If you had told me this a year ago, I would have looked at you like you had a second head on your shoulders.
Yeah, no, I mean, we've grown from a small community. I mean, I recently just joined this community and family,
There
and
you
that's
go.
what iRacing is. It's a family. I mean, I've seen past where one of their drivers in their series had a family member pass away, or a family member that had cancer, and a big group. When I mean a big group, 40, a full field driver, 41 driver field showed up.
Yep.
And it was a really amazing fundraiser, and it went for a great cause. So,
as a matter of fact, we saw what a family can be last night in the Rowdy Energy Circle B Diecast Super Speedway Series, as unfortunately one of our drivers there lost his father this week, and he didn't know. He had no clue that the family that he races with was going to be so supportive. Greg McConey did a special tribute scheme for that driver's teammates to run, and it just so happened to work out that, it was a very emotional win last night in that series. And again, our thoughts and prayers. But yeah, our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of James Lowe as they lost their patriarch this past week.
yeah, and I mean,
that's a rough one.
Yeah, personally, I mean, I've lost a best friend due to again, comes back to mental health awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Back in, I believe it was 2019 or 2018, I lost one of my best friends, and those are hard to come by these days for me. So, lost one of them to suicide. So, really, it's coming out to, if you need help, please get help. Have a friend, talk to a friend. If you need to, there is a hotline out there. You really just have to search in, suicidal, or even something like around those words, and it'll immediately come up.
1-800-273-8255, the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. 1-800-273-8255. And it doesn't even have to be you that's in crisis. If you think one of your friends are in crisis, call. Make the call.
Yeah, and I mean, really, coming out here, it's amazing to see that we can bring this group of community, 20 drivers out here. I believe I think it was 23 that registered and a couple people couldn't join. But 23 people that supported this. That shows you how a family can be. Even a small family can mean a lot to somebody in need. So, again, we're here for you if you need help. If you can either text me, Tony, or even try to. But yeah, if you need help, just contact somebody, or just try to contact one of us at SRM or ESBN if you need somebody to talk to.
Absolutely. There you can see it on the bottom of your screen as we ride along with Ryan Andrew. 1-800-273-8255, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Because, believe me when I say this, people do care. I care. I may not have ever met you in person out there, and whoever's listening to my voice right now, I may never meet you in person, but I care. Because you're a human being, and you matter. Whether you think you do or you don't think you do, you do. You matter in someone's life. You matter in my life. It pains me every time I hear of something that's going on, that takes lives from us. And, a perfect example would be what happened in Buffalo, New York this past week, where someone had a mental breakdown and decided to shoot up a grocery store. I know people that work in that grocery store. I know people that live in that neighborhood. And it's wild when something like that hits so close to home. And it all could have been avoided had someone gotten the help that they needed. By the time you hear of things like this happening,
It's too late.
It's way too late. There's no going back. When I was, and I'll freely admit, I have gone through firearms training. And the first thing they tell you is, do not aim your weapon at anything you don't want to destroy.
Or intend to shoot.
Once you don't intend to destroy. Because anytime you pull that trigger, there's no coming back. There's no recalling that bullet.
Yeah. And as we do have the top 3 cars coming down pit road, which is your leader Andrew, Cody, and I believe Liam came down pit road. And from what we saw, Andrew did and was pulling a second gap from everybody else.
Well, Rhett Tucker had already gone down pit road. Him and Cam Harris and Greg McConey had already peeled off. And it's going to hand the lead of the race over to that man in the 69, Nate Brown.
And, I mean, he's going to have to come down pit road soon. I believe they all pitted lap 63, so...
Yeah, we're working about 40 laps since the last time they were down for fuel.
So, it's either they're getting time to change tires or time to, come down and get a splash of fuel and try to make it to the end, as we have roughly,
34 laps to go.
Yeah, 34 laps to go, which this is where we're going to start seeing a lot of people starting to push their cars. They got them fresh tires. They're going to start pushing those cars to the limits. And this is where we're going to start seeing people making those moves and getting past people.
Well, there's your effective race lead right there. Rhett Tucker in the 99. He's got Cam Harris glued to him, as they've got about a 3.5-second gap back to the 88 of Ryan Andrew, who currently rounds out your top 10. Now, everybody in front of them has not pit. And Pat McQuaid's coming down right now.
Yeah, and I can say, Jeremy Flanagan is 9 seconds back, as well as Charles Dickey is 15 seconds from the lead pack. So, that shows, these guys are starting to get their pit cycles in, as we new race later is going to be Cody. Yeah. And I believe as Liam gets his lap back.
Liam just got his lap back the hard way. Now, Webster in the 91 has not come down pit road for his money stop yet. Hara, Flanagan, Angerstein, Dickey all need to come down for their money stop. Emily, we're looking almost 2 full seconds of fall off after 40 laps.
Yeah, and I mean, really, considering that's not too bad, considering how much you can eat your tires up here.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can go 4 seconds off if you burn them tires up. I've done that myself before.
And we know that they can get 40 laps out of a tank and go fast, so the cautions early on kind of played into everybody's favor. This is not going to turn into a fuel strategy race like we've seen so many races at Vegas turn into in the past.
Yeah. And I mean, really, our race leader is Cody Webster. So we're probably going to start seeing Rhett Tucker start pushing through the field, trying to catch everybody. So it's going to be interesting to see who brings us home, as we will, at the line, 29 laps to go. Or 28, I believe.
Absolutely. As we're watching the battle for the effective race lead, currently a battle for 6 between Rhett Tucker and Cam Harris. And those two are over a second to the good over the 88 of Ryan Andrews. As you can see, Andrews there in the background as they come down the Nellis back straightaway and haul it off into turn number 3. And then you're a full second clear from, actually you're more than that. You're 2.5 seconds clear back to Jeff Schmeier, who's another 2.5 seconds back to Liam Ervig. So
And
a
Cody
lot of
comes down
separation.
pit road.
Webster comes in. That's going to hand the lead of the race over to the hillbilly himself. That is Dave Hara.
And I believe that says 63 next to their name, correct?
Sorry?
They pitted lap 63, correct?
62.
62. So they still have yet to come down pit road. So I say they're getting close to 5 to 10 more laps. They're going to have to come down pit road because they're getting to the end point where they might not be able to get that lap down they get.
Well, you're not going to be able to get that lap back easily if you're with what they're doing right now, especially considering you got 13 trucks on the lead lap. J. Lance Taylor in the 29, the last truck being scored as such, as Cody Webster goes a lap down. David Hara, Jeremy Flanagan, Adam Angerstein, and Charlie Dickey all have yet to come down for the money stop. And speaking of the money stop, the podcast with Dave Regal and myself is on hiatus right now as Dave is on vacation, as I believe he said he's in the Outer Banks this week.
I think so, yeah. I mean, he sent a picture, funny enough, of him sitting in a lawn chair. You saw that, Tony?
Yeah, and I'm jealous.
I am too, but may or may not be going on vacation soon.
Well, there you go.
So.
But, yeah, currently, Jeremy Flanagan in the 72, your leader, as he has gotten by the hillbilly.
And I mean, Rhett Hecker, again, is starting to push up there. I believe he still has to come down and pit, correct?
Well, Ryan Andrews has gotten by him. Missed that one.
That is true. Yeah, same. So, really, I believe our race leader after this pit cycle will be Ryan Andrew, as we're still waiting for... there we go. Jeremy goes down pit road, and we still have yet Adam and... David to yet still go down pit road. As
well, no, Ryan's already been down. As here is the pass for the effective race lead. You see Andrew just on the fresher tires by about 7 laps. Has the pace in that 88 tonight. As we go back live, just as Hara comes down pit.
Yeah, that's gonna put your race leader as Ryan Andrew, and I say he has a sizable lead from
already a second and a half.
Yeah, so that shows you that he's pushing that car. And he's like, you know what? I know I have the speed. I know what I can do. I'm going to push my car to, where it's that fine line where you're loose, but you're also not losing the car.
Absolutely. The side-by-side racing is done. This field right now more strung out than a methadone clinic, as Rhett Tucker in second has pretty decent gap back to Cam Harris, who rounds out your podium. Then you're a full 2 seconds back to that man in the 22. That is Jeff Schmeier. Liam Irving rounds out your top 5 in the Reese's Chevy Silverado. Then you're another almost 3 seconds back to Nate Brown in the 69. And here you see Greg McConey in the background there, 7th. Then we are back to Pat McQuaid in 8th, currently 3 seconds behind McConey. And then you're 2 seconds back to that man in the 29. That is J. Lance Taylor. And rounding out your top 10 is Cody Webster, who is back here. 2.5 seconds to the arrears there.
And we will be at the line. 20 laps to go. I can't believe we're already 20 laps to go out of 134. It seems like we already just started this race, you know?
Well, this is what happens when you get all-stars together. You know, these are some of the best drivers from around all the leagues that the Sim Racing Media Group broadcasts. And, you know, these drivers, they don't crash often, you know, but if they do, it's usually just a racing incident. You know, these guys drive with their head, not their feelings.
Yeah.
But if you want to get involved in the next one, which we don't have confirmation on the date for the June race yet, you can head on over to simracingmedia.com and stay on the lookout over there on the website for when the next entry forms are going to go up. And throw your hat in the ring next time. We'd love to have you. Quick check of the live stream. Alex F. yelling, "Go get it, Flanagan." Josh Lilly pulling for Nate. Josh, wish you were here, buddy. Beth Mills, of course, pulling for Jeff Schmeier, as she does week in and week out in the Western States Racing League. Jeff currently sitting in the number 4 spot is Liam Irving, giving him some pressure right now. That is her closest battle on track. 4th and 5th between Schmeier and Irving.
As Ryan Andrews is still pulling a 4-second gap, so he is pushing those tires to their limits. As we're gonna have, I believe, 14 laps left once we hit the line.
16.
16.
As Irving all over the inside of Schmeier as they call it down the Nellis back straightaway. Now, Emily, do you know why they call it the Nellis back straightaway?
No, I do not.
That is because on the other side of that catch fence is the Nellis Air Force Base.
Ooh. That sounds interesting.
Absolutely. As this property kind of butts up against the Air Force Base. But 4 tracks on the property here at Vegas. You have the drag strip, which is a 4-wide drag strip, one of only 2 in the country that do 4-wide racing. You have the dirt track at Vegas, which is just outside of turn number 4. And then you have the bull ring, which is just outside of turn number 2. So four tracks in one facility here at Vegas. And again, right now, broadcast being shown the premiere of the Sim Racing Media AI series from the bull ring. Super late models doing battle this season, as season 2 is already in the planning works, and some new twists and turns are going to show up for that one, pardon the pun.
Yeah, and I mean, still, again, Andrew is just pulling that 5-second gap, keeping it strong and consistent. So I believe, I mean, if he does not make a mistake here, I believe we might have a race winner.
Absolutely, as we're going to go on board with your race leader, Ryan Andrew. This is what he is seeing out the front of that truck, working on the lap truck in front of him of the 45 of Cole Martin. You can see just how rock steady he is on that steering wheel.
And you can just hear him lifting on the throttle just to be able to turn that car. Because here, again, you have to still lift off the throttle. So it's one of those tracks you can't just full throttle it and go around it.
Looks like he's rolling out of the throttle and maybe dabbing the brake just a little bit to get that front end to take a set to initiate the turn. But then he's right back into it. You know, really using all of those tire up, as the gap is now 5 3/4 seconds, as we are going to be 11 to go at the stripe. And let's compare what we're seeing with Andrew with what we're seeing in the double deuce of Jeff Schmeier, who currently sits in 6th. And you can hear Schmeier coming off the throttle a little bit more.
And that is a case of burned up tires, if I say so myself.
Oy.
Ooh. Broadcaster's curse.
That was a moment. And you can see the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline phone number there. Again, if you know anybody in crisis right now, either get them to call or call for them, because they can contact the local authorities to do a health check on your friend. And if you are in crisis right now, reach out, please. We are racing tonight for mental health awareness. One of the most stigmaed illnesses in the world in this day and age, as people, because you can't see a mental illness most of the time, people just, tough it out. Well, somebody with a severe mental illness, you telling them to tough it out would be the same thing as if you walked up to somebody with a shattered leg and bones sticking out. Oh, just walk it off, you'll be okay. No, they won't. You need help. That's what, we're racing for tonight, as Liam Ervig works past Cam Harris to wrestle third away from him.
I believe we're going to be 7 laps to go now at the line. So these laps are just going to start ticking away, and really, it's going to be the battle between Liam and Cameron.
That is the closest battle on track, but they are both reeling in Rhett Tucker.
And, I mean, considering Rhett Tucker did pit, I believe, 7 to 8 laps before them. So there is a little bit of tire wear between them. So hopefully Rhett can keep that second place. It looks like the 72 just got into that wall.
Yes, he did. There's Jeremy Flanagan, unfortunately, eating some wall. But, yeah, Andrews came down on lap 99. Tucker came down on 92. Ervig came down on 99. And Cam Harris came down on 91. Freshest tires on track right now belong to this man in the 69. That is Nate Brown, who last pit on lap 102. As we are going to be 5 to go at the stripe. 7 seconds is the gap for Ryan Andrews right now.
So all he has to do right now is just keep his marks up and keep that car straight and out of trouble, and he has this win.
Absolutely, is just a dominating performance out of Andrew. Set quick time in hot lap, set quick time in qualifying. As that battle is starting to peter out now, as well, Irving and Harris are starting to reel in Rhett Tucker. They're running out of time, though, as they've cut the gap down to 0.4 of a second. And they had 0.3 on them the last lap. 4 laps to go. This is about to get good.
Yes, we're definitely going to have a battle between second, third, and fourth to see, or even, second, third, fourth, and fifth to see who's going to get in the top 3. So,
well, Nate Brown's back there a ways.
Yeah, is that okay? I guess that's about 9-second gap.
From Harris to Brown is a 1.5 seconds.
So I mean, if he can get
Schmeier just came down pit road.
Huh?
And that truck's not running. Schmeier's out of fuel.
That is unlucky.
3 to go. Andrews 7.5 seconds to the good. As Irving tries to reel in Tucker. It's 2 to go now. Popsicle sticks in the air. 2 more laps to go. Tucker doing everything he can to try to hold off Liam Ervig. This is your battle for second and third. Ervig with a little bit of a tire advantage, 7 laps newer on the 54. As he looks to the inside of Tucker, white flag in the air. Ryan Andrews racing back to checkers. All he's got to do is keep it clean. We're going to stay with this battle for second as Irving gives the chrome horn to Tucker. They haul it off into turn number 1. Irving's going to have one more shot at him. As they go down the Nullis back straightaway for the final time. Irving throws it to the inside through 3 and 4. Ryan Andrew crosses for the checker. Irving and Tucker rub fenders coming off of 4 side by side. They bang again.
Photo finish.
Photo finish is right. Less than 100th of a second. Actually, 50 thousandths of a second.
Man.
Or 5 thousandths of a second. I'm sorry. 5 thousandths of a second. Give the nod to Tucker. Irving in third. Nate Brown, Cam Harris rounding out your top 5. Cody Webster, Pat McQuaid, Greg McConey, Jay Lance Taylor, and Jeremy Flanagan rounding out your top 10. Adam Angerstein, last truck being scored on the lead lap. But there is the man of the hour right now in that Tango Paints Jones Racing Setups. Number 88, your pole sitter, winning from the point.
And do you want to get Liam in the booth?
We will. But first, we are going to reach out to... Give me a second. We are first going to reach out to the driver of the 88. And that is one Ryan Andrews. Ryan, dominating performance here tonight at Vegas.
Oh, yeah, it was a really good race there. I did a good job of saving my tires. Had a couple teammates up there to help me out, and we just got the strategy right on that last run, and it allowed me to pull away and get the clean air.
Yeah, absolutely. You did your league proud tonight, and just talk us through how fun it was when you were in those tight battles with you and Liam and Rhett all night long.
Oh yeah, it definitely gets really close, especially on restarts when everyone's trying to side draft and get every advantage that they can, and you always got to watch out for the lag in the net code too, so it's just all about being careful and balancing out the aggressiveness.
Yeah, absolutely. But you were able to avoid the net code tonight. You were able to avoid the contact tonight. And if I may say that the boys over at Tango Paints did you right tonight with that beautifully prepared number 88.
Oh yeah, it's a really fast Silverado tonight.
Absolutely. But again, Ryan, congratulations on the victory here at Vegas. Who do you need to thank?
I want to thank, of course, my 2 teammates in this race, Liam and Cody, for working with me and staying out front. And I want to thank you two for putting on a great broadcast, I'm sure, that I can watch back later.
Absolutely. Well, Ryan, congratulations. Will we see you back for the June race?
I think you will if I can find some time for it.
All right, sounds grand. Ryan, congratulations. We will see you next time.
Thank you.
So that was our winner. And Emily, I believe you have second place with you. Nope, not yet. I grabbed the wrong guy. You have second place with you now.
Red Tucker, this is Emily in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, what's up?
Nothing really. You had a strong car tonight, didn't you?
No, I had a strong truck, Emily.
I
Okay.
see what you did there.
Yeah, it felt good, but if I knew how to save tires, it probably would have been a lot better.
Hey man, I mean, you're killing it out there, and just like you do in clean racing, you're gonna do it here too. So congratulations on second place. Do you have anybody to thank tonight?
Thank you very much. Yeah, you guys for doing this. Hopefully we can throw down some money for mental health awareness. Glad to be here. Thanks to everybody that puts it on. Um, I kind of felt outnumbered tonight, but thank you. My buddy Lance came and ran with me. He had a good run. Everybody from Clean Racing that showed up. Malware Bites. Yeah, I guess that's it.
And what was your strategy tonight? I know you were really fast tonight. You got a decent amount of laps led with the 88 car as well.
Yeah, once he got around me and started pulling away, I thought I'd come in and get some tires and try to build up a lead, but I should have known better with his teammate out there that he's going to make that hard on me because once I had a run on the inside, he just dropped down right in front of me, you know. It
Yeah.
was funny. But yeah, so but he won by a bigger gap than that cost me, so he had it all figured out on the tire side. And I was quick on the short run. I was hoping for a caution, but all in all, good night.
Do you have anybody else to thank before we let you go tonight?
Did I forget something?
Nope, we're just wonder.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks, everybody.
All right,
Thank you
well,
guys for doing the broadcast. Appreciate it.
you have a great night. Go enjoy. Go talk to your sponsors down in Pitt Road, and have a beautiful night tonight.
Thank you, you too.
So that was second place, Rhett Tucker. And joining us now, the man who made it interesting in the closing lap of this piece, driver of the Reese's last car, number 54, Liam Ervig. Talk us through how your race went.
It was, yeah, it was definitely an up and down day. We started up front, ended up with a little bit of a net code issue, got turned around, backed into the fence, and I tried to save my fast repair at that point. Was pretty torn up, and there was a deal where a truck had kind of jumped over the Legends track in the infield and came up on the track, and I just locked her up, spun it to the inside, and guess I got lucky with the caution there. I didn't really expect it, but yeah, after that, I think I still stayed out on the damaged car and tried to repair it. But once we got that fast repair in, it was on rails. It was kind of waiting for longer runs to try to move through the field. And
Well, absolutely. But talk us through the closing laps there. You and Rhett Tucker were beating and banging coming to the stripe.
yeah, it was a phenomenal battle. He raced me super clean there. I knew it was going to be close with his strategy call, hitting a little bit earlier than we did, and getting down to the end of it, got around the 22, and then the 15 got a little bit tougher, and then yeah, getting up behind Rhett there really tightened up, and I tried to make a move there coming up off of 4 on I think coming to the white. He cut me off with a little bit of a block there, and all's fair in love and war. I went ahead, tried it again in 3 and 4, and can't say I didn't try. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you gave it hell there in the closing laps, but you got to be proud of your team tonight as you put 2 of them on the podium.
Yeah, definitely. Brian is he's super strong in these races, and cool to see him come away with a win. And tried to get us 1-2 there, and just needed a couple more inches on the front bumper there.
Yeah, absolutely. But Liam, we're going to let you go celebrate with your team. Who do you need to thank before we turn you loose?
Well, love Reese's.
Doesn't
It's a
everybody?
beautiful, yes. It's a beautiful truck made by Tango Paints. He does a lot of work for me and does really good work, I'd say. And it's really about it. Thanks to you guys for putting this on. Mental health awareness, I think, it's a pretty big thing to try to bring awareness to, and it's a really cool way to do that with this event. I've been somebody who's struggled with my events, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that, hopefully there's some people watching that, know that we're thinking about them.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got the number up on the screen right now that if you know anybody in crisis 1-800-273-8255, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. You know, it's always an important number to keep around because, you know, when seconds count, you know, have that thing on speed dial on your phone. You know, you may never, hopefully you never have to use it, but if you ever do, to help save the life of a friend, you know, hey.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to know that there's always somebody that's there for you, whether they're somebody close or a complete stranger. There's always somebody that's going to be there for you.
Absolutely. Well, Liam, again, we don't have confirmation yet on the date, but safe to assume you're going to be back for the June race.
Yes, sir. These things are way too much fun to not be a part of in some way, shape, or form. These guys put on a great show, and you guys did as well.
Well, you guys gave us good things to talk about all night long. But Liam, we'll let you go celebrate with your team. Congratulations on the podium.
Thanks. Thank you, guys.
So that is that for the interview portion. Let's take a quick rundown of our finishing order. Maybe? There we go. Ryan Andrew, Rhett Tucker, Liam Irving coming out with your podium finishes. Nate Brown hanging on for fourth. Cam Harris rounding out your top five. Cody Webster, Pat McQuaid, Greg McConey, Jay Lance Taylor, and Jeremy Flanagan rounding out your top 10. Taylor, the last truck being scored on the lead lap.
As we have Adam, Angustian, Jeff, Schmier, Charlie, Ed, Cole, David, Joshua, Carl.
And that's going to be the starting grid right there. As James Riles and Cliff Corvo were up in race control tonight. So that is going to do it for us. Another one in the books, Emily. And, you know, I don't know about you, but I am so pleased that we could help donate some money to Sim Racing for Mental Health.
Yes, 100%. I mean, this money will go to great cause to help those people out there in need that, you know, need it. Because I know personally there's times where I needed it and I've gotten help for it. So I'm glad this is going to a great cause and people could attend it. And that's what I love about iRacing families.
Absolutely. And again, thoughts and prayers going out to the family of James Lowe, one of the proud drivers over in the Rowdy Energy Circle B Diecast Super Speedway Series, as they lost their patriarch this past week. So thoughts and prayers going out to that family. Thoughts and prayers going out to the family of Brian Tarnowski, as Brian lost his aunt this past week as well. So, you know, and that's the time where you need to be there. You really find out, you know, who you can count on when things like that happen. But thoughts and prayers going out to those families this week. As that is going to about do it for us tonight. For Miss Emily Urias, thank you for joining me in the booth. This is Tony Trapasso reminding you, ladies and gentlemen, that this week as you walk down the road of life, please don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.